If you own a local service business, this question is probably on your mind all the time. I mean, it's a big one. Get it right, and you've got a steady stream of new jobs coming in. But get it wrong? It feels like you're just lighting money on fire. So let's dive in and figure out the right way to think about your Google Ads budget.
I bet this sounds familiar. You log into your Google Ads account and you see it. The clicks are adding up, your daily budget is getting spent, but when you look at your schedule, it's not translating into what really matters, paying customers.
And that's the core frustration, isn't it? You know the potential is there, but something's just not connecting between the money you're spending and the real-world results you need to actually grow your business. So how do we fix this thing? Okay, here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the big problem, clicks but no calls. Then we'll find out where your money is being wasted, ask the right question about your budget, figure out how to calculate it, spend it wisely, and wrap it all up with a smarter strategy. First things first, before we can even talk about how much you should spend, we've got to talk about where your money's going right now. For most local businesses, there are two huge, super common leaks in the budget. The good news? They're totally fixable. So check this out. This is the first major leak. On the left, that's who you want, people who are physically right there in your service area. But who you're often paying for are the people on the right, people who are just interested in your area. You know, like someone in a totally different state who's planning to move to your town next year and is looking up plumbers. You pay for that click, but there's no way they can become a customer today. And here's the kicker. This is often the default setting in Google Ads. If you haven't gone in and specifically told Google, hey, only show my ads to people who are actually here, then you are almost guaranteed to be wasting money on clicks that can never, ever turn into a job for you. Okay, the second big leak is all about paying for the wrong kind of clicks. Think about it. Someone searching how to fix a leaky faucet has a totally different goal than someone searching for an emergency plumber near me. You end up paying for clicks from DIYers, people looking for a job at your company, or tire kickers just browsing for info. None of them are ready to hire you. So how do you stop this? The tool is called negative keywords. It's really just a do not show list that you give to Google. You add words like how to, jobs, free, and DIY. It's like putting up a giant shield that protects your budget and makes sure you only pay for clicks from people who are serious about hiring a pro. All right, so now that we've plugged those two massive leaks, we can start to think about this whole budget thing differently. This isn't just about what Google Ads cost. It's about what you need to invest to get the results you want. This right here, this is a total game changer. Just changing the question you ask yourself moves you out of a mindset of fear, oh no, how much am I spending, and into a mindset of strategy. Okay, what do I need to invest to make my phone ring? It's a way more powerful and productive way to think. So that's a nice idea, but how do you turn that investment mindset into an actual number? I mean, where do you even start? Luckily, you don't have to guess. There are some really solid formulas out there that can give us a great starting point. Let's look at the revenue percentage method. It's a fantastic way to make sure your ad spend makes sense for your business. So step 1, you set aside about 6 to 10% of your total annual revenue for all your marketing. Then, step 2, out of that marketing pot, you dedicate somewhere between 20 and 40% just for digital ads, like Google Ads. So what does that actually look like in real dollars? Well, if you're a small business doing about $500,000 a year in revenue, that formula puts your monthly Google Ads budget somewhere between $500 and maybe $1,700. As you can see, for a bigger business, that number just scales right up. It gives you a realistic ballpark based on what your business can actually support. So you might be looking at that range and wondering, okay, but what's a good solid number to just get started? Well, for a lot of small and medium-sized service businesses, a budget right around $1,000 to maybe $2,500 a month is a really common and effective place to start. It's enough to get real data, but it's not going to break the bank. And here's why having enough budget really matters. Think of Google's system like a really smart machine that needs to learn. If you set your budget too low, it never gets enough information to figure out what's working. Budgeting for at least 10 clicks a day is like giving it the bare minimum amount of data it needs to start learning and getting smarter for you. Okay, so you've got your number, you know your starting budget. The next big question is, where do you point it? To get the fastest results, you've got to focus on the people who are basically raising their hand saying, I'm ready to hire someone right now. For any local service business, there are two places you want to start. First is just regular search ads. That's for people actively typing plumber near me into Google. Perfect.
But the second one, local services ads, or LSAs, these are an absolute game changer. Why? Because you pay per lead, meaning a real phone call, not just a click. Plus, you get that Google Guaranteed badge at the very top of the page, which builds instant trust.
The bottom line is, both of these campaigns put you directly in front of customers with the highest possible intent. These aren't people just doing research for some project down the road. These are people who need help now. And that makes them the absolute most efficient way to spend your first advertising dollars. All right, let's pull all this together into a final, smarter strategy that you can actually go and put into action. Here it is, your 5-step action plan. Number 1, go into your settings and target presence only. 2, build that negative keyword list to stop wasting cash. 3, set a budget based on your actual revenue, not just a random guess. 4, focus that money on high-intent search and local services ads. And number 5, start, see what's actually making the phone ring, and then pour more fuel on what's working.
And at the end of the day, it all comes down to this. A winning Google Ads strategy isn't about having the biggest budget on the block. It's about having the smartest budget, where every single dollar is working hard to bring you a customer who's ready to hire you. Hey, if this breakdown gave you some clarity on how to approach your ad budget, do us a favor and subscribe. We're always putting out practical tips like this to help you grow your service business. And remember, this is what we live and breathe. Here at Proper Marketers, our whole world is about helping businesses just like yours turn those Google ad clicks into real calls and actual booked jobs. Thanks for watching.